Now, I don't know about you, but my sleep absolutely tanks during the summer, which is kind of ironic since this is supposed to be the season of R&R. But when you factor in things like the heat, the extra daylight, travel, parties, occasional spicy margarita, I mean, it sort of makes sense, right? Our circadian rhythm is completely thrown off by the season, meaning the quality of sleep you might be used to getting in the winter, it's probably not gonna translate when Mercury rises. So what can we do about this? And well, this is the part where I tell you to stick around to the end to find out the solution, but I'm not gonna do that because it's cliche. And also, I don't have a perfect solution because everyone's sleep needs are individual and different. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you all the things that I've thrown at my sleep this summer. I'll tell you what's worked for me and what hasn't, and then, well, ultimately you can decide what things you wanna try based on your budget and lifestyle. So with that said, let's do a little bit of a change in format this time. We're gonna kick things off in the bedroom where I talk to you about factor number one, which is the heat. So the question is, how can you cool down the body quickly and efficiently to help with sleep? There's a lot of different things you can do, but let's start with some of the physical or tangible things that are happening in your house. If you have air conditioning, I highly recommend setting the ambient temperature to be pretty cold when you're going to bed. So for me, I usually set it to around 65 degrees. Technically, the gold standard is 60 to 67 degrees, but it's already been a really warm summer and my electricity bill is already sky high, so 65 is where we're gonna stay. But a trick or a workaround for this is to set it to the coldest that you want it earlier in the night. That's gonna help promote more deep sleep. Another thing that you can do in your bedroom is get a cooling mattress pad. And the thing that I really love about the 8 Sleep is that this pod is actually gauging the ambient temperature all day. And so when you go to sleep, it's going to auto adjust how cold it gets based on how warm the room is. I mean, I woke up last night and saw that it had adjusted to almost the coldest setting for my deep sleep cycle, which I probably wouldn't have thought to do, but I had a great sleep. And again, it's kind of working for you, so you sort of just set and forget. And fun fact, so I live with my sister. That's fun fact number one. Fun fact number two is she was actually using the 8 Sleep for about 2 weeks straight. She is a very hot sleeper, wakes up with night sweats, hasn't been able to hit above 20 minutes of deep sleep. I got her the Oura Ring like 2 years ago, and so it's our fun little obsession. So I said, Megan, try the 8 Sleep for 2 weeks. And then she comes to me every day and says, you won't believe this, 1 hour and 30 minutes. You know, I talk about products like the 8 Sleep all the time because like I'm always using them. And I forget that when you introduce it to someone for the first time and you actually see the needle move that drastically in such a short amount of time, holy crap. So I love you, Megan. I hope you don't mind I gave you a shout out, but I just have to say, like, this is definitely one of those products that I really think makes the biggest difference for your sleep, hands down. If you're not gonna buy anything else in the space, I think this is a really good bet. So enough about that. I'm gonna include a couple of links below if you wanna just learn a little bit more. And then another thing you might wanna try is just changing up your sleep position. So if you're like me and you like to sleep kind of curled up in the fetal position, don't do that. Instead, sleep experts actually recommend sleeping with your arms and your legs spread out because I guess this helps you release body heat instead of retaining it. I try to go to bed like that, in that position. I always wake up in a different position. I don't know how, but yeah, I would say definitely give that a try and see if that helps. And then of course, if you can, try and sleep alone. Not a problem for me, but even if you have a pet, right? Sleeping alone is obviously gonna keep you a lot cooler. And then on the supplement side of things, Because yes, there are some supplements that can actually help keep your body cool for the summer. Let's go into the kitchen. I can show you everything I use. This kind of feels very reminiscent of a Food Network show, of which it is not. But I'm gonna talk to you about some of the supplements I have here and things that are gonna help promote cooling down of the body and also promote better sleep. So let's start with mud water. I talked about this on the channel like a month or two ago. I've done a 30-day experiment with this blend, which is the Mud Water Rest. And oh my God, to see the impact that it's had on my sleep scores, it's profound. And so I've been actually tracking it with this new app called Reputable. And what it does is it basically aggregates all of your Oura Ring data and then shows you a breakdown of all the different factors that affect your sleep. There was a nearly 12% benefit to my sleep, which far surpassed a lot of the other things that I use for my sleep, like weighted blankets and air purifiers. You can see there was a huge boost in my recovery index, my deep sleep, and my REM. Anyway, I think this is a really great bet if you're looking for something that's refreshing. I actually throw it in the blender with some coconut milk and kind of do a mud water on ice before bed, because Lord knows I am not drinking a hot liquid in the middle of summer, but it's refreshing, and on top of that, it's satiating, especially if you are eating on the earlier side, which maybe you are, and you just want something to kind of tie you over after dinner. And then in terms of some of the cooling supplements or things that are gonna help kind of promote that cooling down effect, definitely want to invest in some vitamin C. Obviously, you can get this from citrus fruits, broccoli, cauliflower. Always really good to go with the food soluble choice first if you can. But if you're deficient or you're just looking to kind of add a little bit more, I really like this liposomal vitamin C blend. I'm not at all sponsored, but this is by Mercola. It really tastes good. The liposomal effect is going to add some fat to it, so it's gonna actually help your body absorb it more. Omegas are also gonna be another key fatty acid that's gonna help promote that cooling down effect. Again, you can take it in a supplement. I definitely do on occasion, but I also just try to get it from food. So sardines is a really good choice. Salmon. But then if you are looking to add in a supplement, I actually really like this supplement by Mode and Method, which is their HRV blend. I'll be talking about that and its effect on my HRV in an upcoming video. But this actually has a 3-part blend of omega-3 oil, including DHA, EPAs, and SPMs. And then magnesium and potassium are 2 minerals that are gonna help hydrate the body, help keep it cool. If you are going to supplement, I would definitely look for a more complex magnesium blend, something that's gonna have magnesium glycinate in it, taurate, citrate. I would definitely say look at the fine print and what it is exactly that they're including in their proprietary blend. Check out the science and the research of the company, and then also look for something that is third-party lab tested. So these are things I've tried, I've tested, I recommend. And next, I think we're gonna take it outside and talk about daylight. So I think when it comes to sunlight and sleep, we have to remember the sun is also working in our favor this time of year. More sunlight exposure is actually gonna help produce more serotonin, which is a mood enhancer by itself, but it's also the precursor to melatonin. The issue really is, how do we go to sleep when it's still light out? Because here on the East Coast in New York, I mean, it's not getting dark until 9:30, which is a drastic difference from the winter months where it's dark at 4:30. There are some things that are non-negotiables for me, blackout blinds being one of them, and closing them earlier in the evening to block out all that extra sunlight, and it also helps with heat. And then sleeping with an eye mask, having blue blocking software installed on your computer so it auto dims around 7 p.m. These are things you can do to help for sure. But I was struggling, especially this year. So I called up my friend who is a sleep aficionado. Her name is Mollie Eastman. She has a podcast and a course called Sleep is a Skill. She knows what she's talking about when it comes to this stuff. So here's a little snippet of our conversation and some tools that she suggests to help when it stays lighter later.
Some extra kind of precautions on getting our sleeping space as dark as humanly possible at night, and then also facilitating the evening environment where you're hanging out even before you get into bed and making sure that it's as dim to dark as possible. So, getting extra red lights, Himalayan salt lamps, candles, fire, blue blockers that are either amber or red. Those can all help the process and help you to facilitate that winding down, and that you're getting plenty of bright light by day so that there's a very clear distinction between the day mode and your night mode.
And alas, we come to travel and alcohol, or more specifically, jet lag and hangovers, and how you can prevent those things from ruining your summer, sleep specifically. So when we think about travel first, if you are going to be changing time zones, I like drastically, not just across the country, but more than 5 hours, I would highly recommend you look into this app called Time Shifter. And how it works is the week or two before you're getting ready for your trip, it's going to help you with those time adjustments. And so by the time you land at your destination, your body should already be kind of acclimated to this new change in time. And then there's melatonin, which definitely gets a bad rep in the health space, but that's only if you're using it every night. If you're using it intentionally for the purpose of trying to help you get to sleep at the right time in your destination, I think it's totally fine. I've used it before and I have found it makes a really big difference just for the first few days of settling in. All right, let's move on to alcohol now. And I'm not gonna say that I don't enjoy a spicy margarita once in a while. I know there are a lot of biohackers in the space that are like, I'm not gonna touch that, it ruins my sleep. Yes, it does ruin your sleep, really badly. In fact, sorry, side note, I decided to do a 10-day, what would happen if I drank every night? Not excessive amounts, just like a moderate amount. I have no words. I will be doing a video on this, so stick around, but let's just say everybody's right. It does completely wreck your sleep. That being said, if you are gonna drink, there are a couple things that I suggest. First off, get it without sugar. Like, I do my spicy margaritas, no agave. When you get home is fueling up with electrolytes. So as we know, alcohol, coffee, these things are so dehydrating to the body, especially in the summer. So you're gonna wanna make sure you're replenishing your sodium, your potassium, magnesium stores. I love Element. They're a little expensive, but they taste really good. And then if you think you did drink too much and you know you're gonna end up with a hangover no matter what, I actually have a hack for this. It was not my finding. This shout out to Lucas at Ergogenic Health, although he doesn't drink. So I had to take one for the team, which I did. It actually really freaking works because this particular formula is gonna work on breaking down acetaldehyde, which is what your body is having a hard time breaking down and sort of causes the hangover effect. And so anecdotally, I did not take this supplement for 3 days in a row. I woke up fatigued, headache, feeling dehydrated, wasn't great. Then I took 2 capsules of this before going to bed. So after you finish drinking for the night, I don't know if you're supposed to take it again in the morning, but I did. And I felt amazing. Like, I shouldn't feel this good. Anyway, I'll include a link. This is not encouraging you to drink. This is just saying, like, worst case scenario, you end up having too many drinks. This might be a tool that you want to look into. Now, if you're not at all a fan of drinking but you want to participate in social events, there are so many alcohol alternatives these days that are complete with kind of adaptogens and, kava, kratom. Don't mix the two. And then finally, I would say the real key to avoiding a hangover and to helping your sleep is timing. Now, I'm not encouraging day drinking, but it's a hell of a lot better than night drinking. So give yourself some time to sober up, get some water, maybe even have a meal. Again, not too close to bed. There's so many annoying little caveats. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. This suitcase is empty. I'm not actually going anywhere. I just thought it was a cute prop. Okay, well, over and out. Jet lag and hangovers. I'm gonna let this train pass. One big ass train.